kids. I'm back with another G.I. Joe classified review. I just got this delivered today. It's my Cobra Officer, my G.I. Joe classified 6-inch Cobra Officer. And what can I say? I am really excited about this action figure. I always say that about my G.I. Joe action figures. I've really been enjoying the G.I. Joe classified line. I think they've been knocking it out of the park. I particularly think that this is, I think this action figure is really, really great. I think that there were some noticeable changes to, well, so since they've released the Cobra Infantry and the Cobra Trooper, Cobra Island Trooper, I can see how the philosophy changed when we're, in the design of this figure, and particularly the accessories. But I feel like it retained a lot of the connective tissues that makes this and the Cobra Trooper fit into the same squad. So I'll just show the side artwork briefly. Artwork on the back is pretty much the same as it's been for Storm Shadow and Crocmaster, let's see, I think those are the two most recent figures that I've gotten. I have not gotten my Spirit, so still waiting on that. This is number 37. I don't care too much about the numbers. I don't really, I don't keep them in the boxes and don't really pay attention to the numbering. Although I've become a bit of a completionist with this line, and I do want all of the action figures and all the characters and everything like that. So, but yeah, it's pretty amazing. G.I. Joe is all but dead, and now it's pretty hot. We've gotten probably 40 action figures. If not in hand, we have them on pre-order, and so I think that's pretty significant. I see this line going for a little while. We have a little bit of a kind of iconic and main character thrust right now. We are getting a fair amount of repaints, which is a complaint that people have had. I completely agree, and I completely feel that's valid. I feel like if we were getting repaints a year to 2 years after we got the original, I think there would be less to complain about. And obviously, I think first, in some cases, like reissuing army builders where they might have been hard to get, is a good move on Hasbro's part, and they've done a pretty good job. I mean, the Cobra Island stuff, was really hard to get. I had pretty much thought I was never going to get. I was never going to get the Cobra Island Trooper. But I don't know, I think they came back a year later and they were like, oh, we've got more of these for you, and they were still Target exclusives, but they didn't seem to be as limited in quantity as they had originally been. So anyway, I really like that. And these Cobra Officers don't seem to have been in any sort of limitation whatsoever. So anyway, I'm going to stop yapping, turn the camera off, cut this guy out, and then we'll reconvene to see what this guy looks like. All right, we have our Cobra Officer out of its packaging, and I can tell you I like some things about this, and there are some things that I don't like about this. I don't like the, it doesn't look like the logo was pulled off very well. It's, obviously we got a silver logo because the officers had a silver chest logo, and it just looks a little messy. If I can put this a little closer to the camera, you can see how it doesn't look like it was implemented very well. Got two kind of big chunky silver stripes on the bottom, and then everything else is almost seems unpainted. I do like the harness that they're using. It is a much more like retro style harness than the body armor that the Cobra Troopers had, and it's a much more retro look and feel. The harness and the belt do not connect. I believe that's what what we're looking at with the vintage figure, and I, so I think having those connect, I think having those connect would have kind of messed with the articulation. It might have caused some problems in some of the implementation on the figure. But yeah, that's totally forgivable. I think that's okay. The belt tends to ride up over onto over to his stomach. So I had to kind of push that down. But he's got a holster for his pistol here, and then he's got a spot for his clip, or an extra clip for the AK-47, and then he's got this scope. Actually, that's the one thing that I'm not exactly sure how that what gun that fits onto. I assume it fits onto this AK-47, but I'm not entirely sure. Let's see here. He's got some really cool gloves. These gloves, I think this is I think at least this part of the gloves are a new sculpt, and the chest area is a new sculpt. I believe that the arms, waist, legs, everything else here is reuse, which I actually think is totally cool. I mean, when you're talking about figures that have a uniform, I think it makes sense for a lot of the just some of the standard parts like the waist and the legs and stuff to be reused. Because I think what you end up doing is you end up getting the details from the secondary pieces that are overlaid on top of the kind of the buck, and then you can do some minor details like these gloves, these kind of like long gloves, which really make a big difference in the look of the figure, and then some of these details basically kind of tie in, this figure with other figures on the shelf. So I also think that these the bottom of the boots are new. This looks different than anything that I recall. So that's definitely pretty cool. I definitely think that they did a good job sculpting this figure. I do have a quality control issue, and I don't think it's showing on the video, which makes me feel a lot better. But when I took the guy out of the package, his head was down, and I think that caused some warping in this side of the head sculpt, which makes this part of his jaw kind of protrude asymmetrical to this side, and it's very slight, but my eye is drawn to that. So I don't know, I might try heating, like putting the head sculpt in boiling water and trying to kind of reform that jaw so that he's not so asymmetrical. I also like the fact that they put put his rank strap or the rank band on his arm for me. I don't have to remove his arm and put it on there. That was one of the things that I actually haven't done with my Cobra Island Trooper. I've never put the that squad leader band on his arm because I am just too nervous about like pulling the arm out and risk breaking it. But now that I kind of know what it looks like, I don't think I've ever removed an arm from a GI Joe classified figure, but I have looked at I've looked it up on online, so I know that it's possible, and I know what the internal structure looks like. I think it's a peg that comes out of the shoulder piece and plugs into this bicep, and so that shouldn't be too bad. But I don't have to worry about that with this figure because this is already done. Let's see. Do I want to talk about anything else on the sculpt? I don't think so. I think we're I think that's pretty good. And yeah, so I kind of want to look at the accessories now. Let's see if I can get this guy to stand up. All right, so let's talk accessories. This guy does come with quite a few accessories. First of all, we have our Cobra Officer helmet with the chevron to indicate his rank, and we have a bunch of different guns and little accessories. They all fit on his all fit on his gear, so he can actually carry everything he comes with, which is a big plus. He's got this this cool knife, this double-sided dagger, that combat knife, real wicked looking. It's got painted details. It's got a silver blade, really cool. Really good details on this. It's definitely it definitely stands out against a lot of the kind of just one-tone plastic knives that we've gotten with other figures. Not that a lot of those were really great. You know, the one that came with Zartan's comes to mind, and also the regular Cobra Trooper and Cobra Infantry came with a pretty cool one too. So we got that one. Oops, bumped my. We have this kind of mid-sized machine gun. And I'm not sure if this is I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. I don't know if this is supposed to be a version of a real world type weapon, but it does have some really cool details and does look a bit realistic. Looks like it's got a like a flash suppressor on the tip there. Really cool kind of two-hander machine gun. And also came with this pistol. This pistol looks to me like some sort of version of a broom-handled Mauser. Let me so you get that rounded handle, and that was kind of a German, like a World War II era German gun. I don't mind that, you know, we're getting kind of antiquated guns or guns that are inspired. I think it just adds to kind of the fun of of these action figures, and to have something that's, you know, kind of associated with Nazis, I think works well with Cobra, especially the Cobra officers. And you know, the kind of the harness that they wear is very reminiscent of kind of a Gestapo look. So and obviously, I mean, come on, look at this helmet. That helmet is very much inspired by Nazi military, and I think, you know, kind of all of this. Even though, you know, we're dealing with a fantastical world, I think the realistic elements. Excuse me, I got a frog stuck in my throat. Those realistic elements are kind of what makes the GI Joe line special. Just kind of that you know, realistic stuff with kind of a fantasy twist. Works really well. All the guns have kind of hollowed out barrels for your blast effects that we haven't gotten yet. I'm still waiting for my my Viper 3-pack, And so that should yeah, that's going to be, you know, that's going to be where those blast effects come from. Let's Hasbro releases like a battle. What am I thinking of? The battle accessory set, like they did in the '80s. I would love that. I think that would be great. I think they should definitely do that. But I think they should stick with some of the more realistic weapons, and I don't know, even maybe some weapons that you know, even weapons that didn't get released. But I know those you know, those battle accessory packs were basically just to reuse the stuff that had already come out. Now, this to me is the coup de grace. The AK-47. Oops, my keys are floating around. The AK-47 is the weapon that the Cobra officers came with, and obviously we didn't get, you know, anything that was faithful to the original when we got our Cobra Troopers. The Cobra Troopers originally came with a Dragunov sniper rifle, and instead we got Nerf guns for the Troopers. I have to say, for those first few waves, like I'm like, you know, one day away from ordering some stuff from some of these guys on Instagram, who have like some really cool weapons loadouts, because I'm really dissatisfied with most of my, or you know, the first couple of roadblocks that came out. I haven't opened them up. I haven't opened up Firefly and Beachhead, because I don't really like the weapons they came with. But this is awesome. This is a really great AK-47. Or you know, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure there are people who are better experts. If this is more of a fantasy version of an AK-47, but this hits all the right beats for me. It's got all the right look for this to be the Cobra Officer weapon. It's also been mentioned that the Cobra Officer and the Cobra Trooper should actually switch weapons. The Cobra Troopers should be the ones carrying the AK-47s, and the Cobra Officer should have the Dragunov sniper rifle. But even so, I mean, those two weapons are really iconic. I'd love if they did a battle accessory pack. I'd love it if it came with a Dragunov instead of the Nerf guns and stuff that we were getting at the beginning of this line. So I really do think kind of how they've managed to change things around, you know, really makes sense for the G.I. Joe Classified. Some of the other accessories along with the rifle, or kind of complement the rifle. We've got, instead of a backpack, we've got a rifle, kind of a rifle holster that plugs into his back right here. Really cool. And that's actually a cooler detail than what we got with the Cobra Troopers, because the Cobra Troopers just had those Nerf guns that plug straight into his back. So now you actually have a gun that has a cool profile, because you don't have like a knob on it that sticks into his back, and you have that extra kind of play feature of you know, this holster. There's it looks like leather, and it's got a Cobra symbol, and the Cobra symbol is kind of muted the way that you'd have like on a leather you know, stamped into leather. So I actually think that's a really cool detail, even though that may have been unintentional, because it's kind of like texture on top of texture. But I think it does seem to you know, make it, you know, realistic. The banana clip comes out, and it comes in the figure came with an extra banana clip that sits in his in the back of his belt. He's got a little pouch for the clip, and that clip It kind of sits in there. It seems a little shallow, so it kind of sits in there uneasy. I'm not super excited about that, but definitely, you know, something that I could forgive. It does fit pretty snugly. Once I got it in there, it stayed in. So, and then the last but not least, and I'm not a really big fan of these teeny tiny accessories, but this came with a sight, or it might be a light, like a flashlight or something that clips on. But I think it's a sight, a scope or something. No, I mean on the side that might mean that it's a flashlight. So it clips right on in there, and let me show you that again. So, oops, pulled the clip out. Okay, so it's kind of got this little graduated spot, and then it's got this little divot that's showing up on camera, and then this is the top. So you kind of just take that, and there's a little keyed piece inside that matches up with that divot, and you just kind of take that and press that in, and it fits in there pretty snugly. It took me a couple tries, and you know, it was it didn't go in immediately, or I didn't know exactly how it went in the first time I put it in, but it worked. Eventually I got it under a pretty good light and figured out how to get that in there. It's too bad that sight doesn't, clip on to any of the other weapons, or at least I don't think it does. This has a little spot on there. Actually, I'm not sure what that's for. I wonder if this clips into something on his gear. I didn't really think about that until just now. But other than that, he would have to hand carry this. So I'm not exactly sure. Maybe that serves a purpose. At first, I thought, or my initial thought was that is where that's where the shells, the empty shells, come out of this gun, and that might be the case because I don't see anything on his thigh or anything that would indicate where this would clip onto, or anything like that. So let's see. So I'm now that we've kind of taken a look at his accessories, I'm going to do a little bit of a side-by-side comparison with. I have my Cobra. What is this guy? The Cobra Island Trooper. I've got him kitted out a little different than what he came with. Again, I've already mentioned that I don't have his little rank insignia, his little what's it called, team leader armband. I didn't put that on him, but I'll probably put that on him soon. I just gotta get the courage to pull that arm out of the socket. So you can see the difference. You can see the difference in philosophy, the design philosophy here, where you have the Cobra Officer is a much more classic look. The Cobra Trooper is meant to be much more modernized. I'm going to keep the goggles on him because I don't like pulling those on and off. But the goggles definitely lend to this sort of technological look that he has on his face mask, and you don't have that. You don't have this sort of technological look with the Cobra Officer. The Cobra Officer, the face mask is much more plain, but you've got similar design elements on the head sculpt. You've got the texture on the sides and the top, and you almost have the same look to their you almost have the same look and color scheme on their on their gear. So in those ways, they do match. They go together really well. I do like the texturization on the torso. I think the logo came out much better. Was kind of implemented much better on the Cobra Trooper. But let's see. You look at the if you look at the gauntlets. The gauntlets are much more armored, much more kind of modern looking than what you have on the Cobra Officer. So I really like that detail on the Cobra Officer, and the boots again are more armored. They're actually coming out, and they're actually showing up pretty silvery, but this is actually just like a black, kind of a glossy black paint. So it's catching the light. It looks a little silvery and looks more like armor, especially like right here on his gauntlet. But that is just black plastic shining, catching the light. And again, with the Cobra Trooper, you have these machine guns. They're modeled after Nerf guns, which I think, hey, that was a clever idea. But I think for GI Joe, for Cobra, I think that works okay. Like you can do something that looks like, kind of like sci-fi weapons, because they're getting their weapons from Mars, not Mars the planet, but Mars the Destro organization, and so you've got an opportunity to do some more science fiction type stuff, but at the same time, I mean, I think it just looks dope when you've got AK-47s, M16s, Uzis, or any sort of weapon that is inspired by like real world weapons. I think it looks really good. So I think all in all, I think they did a good job of kind of creating, using their new design philosophy to give us this Cobra Officer, and sort of give us something that that was going to fit on the shelf with what we already have, and also at the same time, give us something new. So I think they did a really good job of these. I'm wondering if we're going to get some sort of like 3-pack or something like that with some more troopers and an officer, and some blast effects. Maybe vary it up a little bit. It's it's interesting to me to see how people react to these army builders. I know that's a big part of, or I assume this is a big part of the Hasbro's strategy is to maximize all the opportunities to use army builders. So I've only I've bought multiples, but not too many multiples of these army builders, because I think later versions and similar similar type stuff is gonna come out. So like the Vipers, I'm glad I didn't get too many Vipers, because now I have 3 more on order, and they all kind of have a little bit of a little different look, because as much as I like having a bunch of guys that are all the same, it is cool that some of them have some of these differences, and so I've seen a lot of people customize their Cobra Troopers with kind of aftermarket body armor and other different things. Seen some really good customizations for like Desert Troopers, or using these guys and repainting them into the Stinger drivers with the gray uniforms and stuff like that. I think that would be really cool. And in fact, I think you could use this one, use this body style base as like a Stinger driver. Would be interesting to see if we actually get a Stinger. Even at retail, I think like a Stinger could be you know, like a $100 price point with a cool Stinger driver, which made use of the that kind of officer body and stuff like that. So we'll see. I guess we have a lot of creative stuff in store that we might see in the near future. But anyway, regarding the Cobra Officer, I really like this. I wish that mine wasn't as warped as it was, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to the next army builder, the next thing that the GI Joe Classified comes out with. Really looking forward to Spirit. I can't wait to get my hands on him. He's one of my favorite characters, and just a really good opportunity for something different and a really cool design for GI Joe Classified. So really excited to see that. And anyway, if you like my video, I hope you hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel. I do these toy reviews every once in a while. Basically, it's just my opinion on a lot of different action figure lines. I kind of pick and choose through Marvel Legends. I'm kind of going all in on GI Joe Classified right now. I also collect the Masters of the Universe Origins, and I pick and choose my way through Star Wars too, mostly vintage collection. So yeah, if you're interested in any of that stuff, subscribe to my channel. And anyway, I basically, like, would love to do videos on anything nostalgia related. So if you have any feedback on that, I'd love to hear it. And like I said, shoot me a comment shoot me a comment below and let me know what you thought of this figure, what you think of the G.I. Joe Classified line.